All right, so now we've talked about the elements. We've talked about dynamic movement, yin and yang. You ready to start applying this to some decor? Okay. Back to that idea of energy being in constant movement, right? We need to keep it moving, but we want to exert some control over that. So, at points in time, we might want to calm down or slow down the movement of energy. How do we do that in a space? Well, in furnishings, we would have soft undulating curves, create meandering traffic flow with our conversation groupings. Fabrics would be smooth finishes like glazed cottons, simple patterns, things like that would be much more prone to slow down the movement of energy. In colors, we would work with monochromatics, a little bit lighter tones. Lighting, we want to be able to bring it down. As we talked about before, create ambiance with dimmer switches, candles, accent lighting, much more prone to slow down the movement of energy. On our floors, well, we would put carpeting, especially with a thick pile. Slows down energy, creates the urge to sit down and relax on it, right? Who wants to leave when it's comfortable? Accessories should be a little more sparse. Sounds, soft musics, wind chimes, the trickling of fountains. Ever been out in the heat on a hot, hot day in the sun? What happens to us when we hear water trickling? Our whole system slows down. Our blood pressure reduces. Well, it does that with energy as well. People, one-to-one entertaining, more intimate conversation slows down the movement of energy. However, sometimes we want to do just the opposite. We want to speed up the movement of energy through a space. We do that with furniture that has hard edges, major accent pieces rather than complete conversation groupings that don't disrupt the flow of the energy quite so much. Fewer fabrics, but using contrasts and bold patterns also speeds up energy. We would use primary colors, bolder, more saturated shades. In lighting, we want to increase the wattage now. We want to bring it up with track lighting, maybe adding lamps. On the floor, not carpeting again this time, we would want the opposite of that. Woods, tiles, maybe a sisal rug at most. Allows for energy to keep moving pretty quickly. And accessories, moving objects, mobiles, collections of things, great for speeding up energy. TV, audio equipment, rock music, having a party. Again, bring pets and children into a room. What happens to the flow of energy? Okay, immediately. A lot of this stuff is just common sense if you think about it. The other ways of speeding up energy would be using colorful flags. Again, wind chimes. You know, it's the other thing that we want to remember is that it's important for your front door to operate properly and with smooth flow. What I mean by that, well, what happens a lot of times, when we move into a foyer, we get a big clog of stuff, right? That's the last thing we want if we want energy to enter our space appropriately. We want to keep things very zen, very open, very functional and repaired, in good repair. That's the other thing that we want to talk about.